everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I want to talk about something I'm going to do a stream of consciousness kind of video. And it's basically, I won't be venting, okay? But I want to talk about self-isolation also. And I'm going to start with this. How many of us have worked in our lifetime in at least one totally dysfunctional, hostile work environment? Now, it's none of your doing. You're not doing it. You go to work at a place, and next thing you know, you realize, you finally get a job, and you realize your boss is just a horrible person. Just horrible. Demands stuff, yells at the staff, threatens every day to fire, and demands unbelievable amount of work that nobody could possibly do anyway, and says this is the reason you're going to be written up. And, maybe it's not you that's being written up, but somebody will be. Every day, every moment of every day, somebody is going to be fired. Now, I worked at one of those. I've worked in more than one, but I learned to just pack up and walk out, say, I'm not dealing with that crap. So, but this one I worked at, it wasn't just me. Now, I actually, at the end of it, after 14 months, it didn't all start right away, but what I did is I couldn't get anybody to assist, any outside agency or anything to do anything, so I wound up calling politicians' office. I'm not joking. I certainly did. Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable. So, it was that bad. But while working there, I really didn't have it so bad as the other people. And one of the reasons I think that I didn't have it as bad is because eventually I reported to the only person there to report to. There was no HR. It was the owner's son that they were committing sex discrimination, and they were committing sex discrimination. I'm talking about they had a set of rules for the guys, another set of rules for the women. Seriously, it was bad. Anyway, it was so bad that both males and females working there, it was like Cubeville in that area, or any area. One of the women, who was I think she was about 4 years younger, she would actually bang her head on the desk. Okay, on her desk. Not so much that it's going to hurt her or give her a concussion or anything. You never know, though. And she wasn't doing it as a joke. She would start crying, bawling, and she was the one I've done video, mentioned her before. She was quite delusional. Yeah, maybe that banging her head on the table. I'm kind of not joking. No, but it was so awful that one of the guys that worked there, and there were only two guys. One of them was a supervisor that worked in that area, and one was another staff member. He was a big guy, not a big guy. He was skinny, kind of, but real muscular, and kind of macho guy. And one time I thought he was going to break his hand. He hit the wall out of frustration. He hit it so hard, it was unbelievable. And he would do stuff like that. He'd scream in like a person who's been abused too much, really, seriously. And he'd scream, and he'd storm off, and he wasn't crying, but he'd storm off and stuff like that. So, it was unbelievable. It really was. Just the demands being made. So, now, how many of us have worked in that kind of environment? How many of you have? Okay. Now, imagine living in an environment like that. I'm not talking about your home. I'm talking about where you live. It could be the area of a town, or, city. I don't know. It could be the whole town. Okay. But, you go, and I've mentioned this before, and, about that I live in what I call Narcissismville. You can see it's what kind of neighborhood. All right. And I'm not really joking when I say that. I really am not joking. I've mentioned this in every video, and I am well aware that people experience this in many places. So for me to say that people here had this high sense of entitlement, I'm stating, and that's saying that, all that it's extraordinary. It's beyond belief. I can go outside of here. I can go, like, to go outside of here, really, to not see this so much, it would be probably like 45 minutes to an hour drive, okay, to not see that people have such a high sense of entitlement. And of course I'm not saying everybody, and of course I'm not saying, everybody who lives within this certain area, and it is just a certain area. Some say it's the whole suburb of Dallas. No, you can see it in certain areas, and I'm not the only person who thinks this, and I've said this before in other videos, that I didn't, this place has a reputation in Texas. I didn't give it the reputation. In fact, when I think about it really deeply, the first time I ever heard of this suburb in my life was, I think, in the 1980s, and I heard about it because of its reputation. So that was back in the 1980s, a long, long time ago. So I didn't give it the reputation. It had that reputation. And people experience the same thing. It's just too much. Too much, like, I know many people experience this. You drive down the road, somebody's going to cut you off. But I'm talking about on a regular basis. Yeah, I've had videos while I was talking about this subject, and you could see it happen. Seriously, there's no way I can, stage that. No. Okay, like while I'm talking about staging something, I had a video, okay, that was about crazy neighbor, hell hath no fury. Now, in my video, I'm just talking. Okay, I'm not staging it. I'm not, because if you look at the crazy neighbors, which I didn't know, there are a lot of crazy neighbor videos. I don't think I knew that until after I had done a few of them. I don't know how many, but I've done quite a bit of them, so it was quite a bit. But then I found out that there are these crazy neighbor videos. Well, many of these I've watched, they're staged. Okay, those are definitely staged. Now, and anyway, so I got it. It made something like, in 2 weeks, it got 8,000 views in 2 weeks. Now, for my little bitty channel, that's a lot. But anyway, the comments, it also got the most thumbs up, but it also got the most thumbs down, okay, that I've ever had. And altogether, I've been on YouTube. Last month was 4 years, not on my original channel. I started 4 years ago. This is not my original channel. Well, that depends on which one I put it on, right? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, you wouldn't believe some of the comments I got on it. Really, seriously, I turned the comments off eventually. The ability to leave a comment, it was just so, unbelievable. People wanting me to commit, to actually show the neighbor, to take pictures of the neighbor. Now, if some people do that, they're putting themselves in jeopardy. I wonder if they if they even think about that, to do that, Yeah, so anyway, that was my gears. But in those videos, you could see some of what I was saying, which is that people have a high sense of entitlement. And people believe that they own everything. In those crazy neighbor videos, that they own everything. And you are, like, they own the whole street. Okay, your house is on that same street, but they own it. To them, and they don't own it. I mean, they don't own it. But the attitude is that. And that can be in any place. I've lived in many places in my lifetime, and I used to be very nomadic and stayed, in so many places. And I would see it no matter what kind of neighborhood, what town, what city, what state. I've lived in several states. I was born and raised in Texas, but I've been to many, lived in many states. So it's nothing like that you can narrow down like that. It's just some people are like that, Definitely have done the stream of consciousness on this one. But really, what it all comes down to, I don't know how long this has gotten. I should start wrapping it up. But I'm really at the end of my rope with it. I'm not going to go postal. I do think people still say that. you're going to go postal. Hey, dude. Really? God, it got so close to me. But you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, what I'm worried about is I feel like I need to isolate myself. And that doesn't work for me because I am a person who goes out and, I go out like 6 days of the week, seriously, and do things. I don't work. I'm a homemaker. I don't work outside the home, I should say. So I don't like the thought of, that's distracting me. Because look at this little girl on the street here. Now, that's not good. But, wow. What in the world? Anyway, hold on, I'm too distracted. Went on from there because, see these cars having to slow down? Well, maybe they're going to that, I guess it's a birthday party or whatever, but anyway, where was I? So, anyway, I don't really know how I'm going to handle this because I really feel this strong need to isolate myself, to give myself a little break from the craziness. I've done the thing of thinking, that what I need to do is to go outside of here to do shopping. I think I mentioned that. And I've done the thing of today, I actually looked online to see about 2 grocery stores, of ordering my groceries, not delivered, but you can pick them up, different types. And one of them said that you can order groceries online, but not anything that's perishables. What? And it had a list of things that you couldn't order. And I'm like, really now? Seriously? Why would I want to order my groceries online if I can only get certain kinds of groceries, and the ones that you can't, ouch, did you hear my neck pop? The ones that you can't get are the ones that you really need. Didn't make any sense. The other one, it was just like this long terms, sets of agreements and stuff like that. I was like, oh my goodness. I don't want to have to read all that, pages and pages of it just to order my groceries online. Wow. But yeah, I've really considered totally isolating myself for a while, and because the unbelievable way people act. But I can't do that because it's just not me. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just gotten so bad, really. I had to move because that was just way too distracting, and I don't think that you could see it as it looks not. It doesn't look as close as it does to me. But anyway, it was too distracting. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, I feel like totally isolating myself, and that's not going to work for me. But how, look, if you work in a hostile working environment, you go in and you say, you see it, you're either going to quit, walk out, turn around, go say, not happening, or you're going to be there and it's going to be constant every day. You can see it after however long. A day, the next day is the same, the next day after. Yeah, it's not going to change much, probably not. So what do you do? Now, I can't move from here. This is not my working environment, but, what could I do? I'm not going to move because it's this way, but, like I said, I've tried to think of things that I could do to help out to where I won't have to deal with anything. And I'm talking like going to a restaurant, a nice restaurant. I'm saying all this. One of the things was today was like the tip of the iceberg. It was bad. I asked about something on a menu. I didn't have my readers on. Voice is going out here. But I asked about something on a menu, and the person refused to answer me. It wasn't a stupid question. It was actually on, what do they call this? I was ordering. It was a fast food, it wasn't a sit down. It was a fast food. My goodness. And I said, can you hear me? Oh, yes, I can hear you. Refuse to answer me. Now, I should not have, as a customer, a paying customer, should I have to say, I don't have my readers on, I can't read it. From where I'm sitting, I can't see it. Now, I shouldn't have said that, and I didn't say that. I did to the management, that I spoke to the manager. But I shouldn't have had to. I should not have to face that kind of thing by being a customer. And this is a constant thing. And I was happy. That was the third place I went to today. And I only had one bad experience at the first two places. And I'm happy that I only experienced one bad thing at each place. Now, experiencing something for me it's constant here. I'm talking, I could be standing in line in a store, and the person in front of me is complaining about being treated wrong. Okay, it's not always just me. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here, but yeah, it was the day of that, and I'm like, this is too much. It's too much for, I like to go out 6 days a week and do things, take care of things. So, of course I thought, look to see about ordering stuff online. I don't like ordering stuff delivered, yeah, it's just too much. This video, I've done too much on this video. It's major. I'll probably wind up putting it on a different channel as it is. But yeah, it's been a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share if you would, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.